Hey, what's going on, everybody? James Wayne here with Steer Your Mind, and welcome to another video. And in this video, I'm going to go over with you guys on tips on eliminating fear. And fear isn't always bad, it's really not. And now, fear is basically our way of survival. Without that fear, we cannot sense and we cannot defend ourselves. So, without that fear, without that feeling of fear, you know, we can't determine our fight or flight situations. Now, you can use fear. Think of fear as like money or or any type of weapon like a gun or a sword. All those things can be used for good. Like you can use a gun for good things or a sword, but you can also do evil with a sword and a gun. And money, same thing. You can use money for good. You could donate, things like that. Or you could use money as for evil, either by taking the money, stealing it, or using the money for, distasteful reasons. And fear is the same thing as those items. Fear is your way of fight or flight. Now, you could choose to run away, or you could use that fear to face whatever is in front of you. Now, that's the idea there because you always have a choice. And when you eliminate fear, the way you do that, and it's not easy, but at first it's not easy, but when you get used to just, well, this is the first tip I want to tell you. Um, when you get used to taking action, because that's the most important thing, taking immediate action will kill fear right away. Let me give you an example. Like you ever went to a pool party and you look at the pool and you're like, you know, you dip your foot in, you're like, oh man, it's just so cold, I don't want to jump right in. So all that hesitation, all that procrastination, it's gonna build up that fear. Just like how a water balloon builds up when you put water in it. Now, that fear is just gonna keep building up. It's gonna keep building. And until you do something about it, which is take action, then that fear is going to allow you not to take any action at all. So you don't want to wait for that to happen. You're going to want to use your um, your natural feeling of fear to drive you towards whatever you want. Now, you could dip your foot in the water and say it's cold, but if you don't just jump in, you're not going to jump in. You'll probably just put your legs in there or whatever, and then just come in eventually. But life isn't about just sticking your foot in the water and and just testing it and leaving. You got to jump in. You have to jump in, and that's with anything. That's with even asking your boss a raise or something like that. If you're hesitant to ask them a raise and you think you asking a raise is going to somehow compromise that opportunity to get one, then you're just not going to take action. You're just going to just stay in one place and let that fear, the bad part of fear, just wipe you out. Now, there's bad things to fear, there's good things to fear, but when you finally treat this as a good thing and say to yourself, you know what, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to just let fear keep me. in one place. Whatever is going on, whatever I want, fear is the last thing on my mind. So if you want to go after anything, if you want to do something, take action, just anything, it could be just working out, trying to get that weight loss goal, or even eating right, or even asking out that person that you want to ask out, just anything. If you're not taking immediate action and you don't push yourself to do something right away, you're going to be frozen. So they say feel the fear and go for it. So feel it, embrace it, and then just kind of treat it like something that's small as a pebble. Just say that fear is very small. And when you get to a place where you say, oh, you know, that's just fear messing with me. That's just life messing with me. I can do this. I can jump in that pool. I can get that job. I can get that spouse. Whatever you want. You know, when you go head on and take immediate action, you're not giving fear a chance to develop. You're not giving it a chance at all. By the way, you're actually, when you take immediate action, you actually are, that's fear's kryptonite. You know, fear, fear is like the Superman, and kryptonite, the crystals or whatever, is you taking action. That's the crystals, and Superman's the fear. Even though Superman is a good guy, and I already said that fear could be good too, but it's hard. I know it's hard at first. Um, at times, I kind of struggle with it, but I don't let it take over me to where it's changing my life to where I don't want it to go in that direction. So I'm aware of it, and it does take practice, but you have to really be aware of the fear. And once you see, a lot of people don't know or aren't familiar with fear, so it just takes over them. And even though we're all human beings, and when we all feel fear, once in a while, or some people every day, you got to do something with that. You got to do something constructive with it. You have to make sure that whatever you do is going to be productive and not counterproductive to where you aren't helping yourself in any way. Because if you know you wanted something, if you know you want to achieve something or get more money, things like that, or jump in the pool, whatever you want to do, you got to be aware that fear is around the corner, but you got to use that. You got to turn fear into fire. That's always kind of my affirmation. Even before I was in the coaching, that was kind of my affirmation before then. Like I've written down before to turn fear into fire, and that's basically just helped me because I know that I can use fear as a weapon. Just like the knife or the sword or the gun or the rifle, whatever. You can use fear as a weapon. So that's what you have to do. Use it like the knife and the sword. You use it for honor, and you're not going to really have any trouble with fear. And I would say fear, based off your self-talk, I would say this is a second tip, but based off your self-talk, that doesn't help your case. Like, bad self-talk keeps you frozen, like you would never see before. If you say to yourself, oh, I'm not gonna accomplish this. I'm too fearful to go after this. I'm afraid. Um, you know, or just decide I'm not going to do it at all. And we play games with ourselves. We play games with our own mind, and deep down we know why we don't want to do that certain thing. You know, we know why we don't want to make more money or go after what you want to go after, or or just or just push yourself to work out and eat healthy. It's like deep down you know the reason. And I'm a victim of this before. Like, I've been a victim of this, but I've told myself and talked myself out of success many times, and it hasn't helped me. So once I got the hold of self talk and everything else, and that whatever you say to yourself or whatever you think to yourself, you're going to think your way out of what you want to do. So those are my two strong tips for you. You know, number one, take action right away. Number two, you know, just work on your self talk. Be aware of the self talk. Don't You hear it all the time. Oh, geez, why did I do that? Why, you know, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? What's going on? I can't. I'm not made to achieve. I'm not made to do anything. And when you say to yourself, I'm not made for something, or I'm too afraid to do something, it's just a limited belief. You're limiting yourself. You put a rooftop over your success. So don't do that. Head go head on with fear. Go head on. Don't hesitate. Even though it takes practice, like I said, you have to practice it. You have to really be aware and practice being aware. But once you get a hold of it, you're golden. But I don't want to make the video too long. I don't want to put you guys to sleep. But take heed to those two steps right there to eliminate fear, and do something constructive with it. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate your support. Like the channel, steer your mind. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Um, Share this video for whoever needs it the most. And I'll see you around. Thanks for watching.